Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we'll be discussing on Microsoft Word tables, how to insert them on your document and how to manipulate them. Stay tuned. Before we go into, please take a few seconds to subscribe to our channel, so like our videos on Microsoft Word tools and word processing documents and applications coming up. So I'm going to launch my Microsoft Word, create a new page. So we know tables are made up of rows and columns, which I will explain the rows and the columns in this video. So in your the Office version used in this tutorial is Office 216. Every lesson is applicable to any version, 2007, 2010. They're all applicable to them. I prefer using 216. I recommend you to install 216 on your system. But if you have trouble installing them on your system, you can write on the comment or feedback that I will create a video on how to install them for you. So on your menu bar, you see the insert tab. The insert tab, you click on it. Directly below the insert tab, you see the table. So you click on the table. So you see this little box containing little smaller boxes vertically and horizontally. So these is your table. So the horizontal sides are your row. These are the horizontal side. The horizontal side is your row, while the vertical side are your columns and row. This we have 10 columns. Directly above these smaller boxes, you see dimension 10 by 1. These in the order columns by row. So we have 10 columns and 1 row. If you go down, hover your mouse down, you see the rows increases. It increases to 8. It increases to 8. You have 10 columns and 8 rows. So for this tutorial, let's make use of 10 columns and 5 rows. So the table has been generated. You can also do this manually. So let's go back, repeat the same process. Insert table. You go to your insert table. Insert table helps you do generate the table manually. So this number of columns, I will put in 10, and in the number of rows, I will put in 5. So this area helps you adjust the table, allowing it to fit to the page, allowing it to fit relative to the page, which I will show you that before the end of this video. So I'll press OK. Don't bother checking this box. So I'll press OK. So that's it. The table has been generated. Then we'll be talking on how to manipulate these tables, how to increase the cells. Each box you see on this table, every box you see on this table is called a cell. Every box you see is called a cell. And more on cells in our Microsoft Excel tutorials. You know more about cells and what you can use them to do. So first is how to adjust the cell's size, how to increase it, how to decrease it, how to do that. So there are 2 ways to increase the cell's size. Not even 3, there are 4 ways and 3 ways. Sorry, precisely there are 3 ways to increase the cell's size. First, you can hover your mouse around the borders. Each line of this table is called a border. Each line of this table is called a border. You can hover your mouse around it until you get this plus sign. This plus sign, these arrows that you can see on the screen. You can just click on your mouse, left click on your mouse and drag to the direction you want. If you're increasing, you do that. If you're reducing, you do that to the direction you want. You can also do that for the border below. You increase and decrease. Then the second way to increase or decrease the cell is to use these boxes, call them boxes, in the ruler tab. You can just go on the column you want to increase. You left click and then drag, left click and drag, left click and drag. The same is applied to this area, the left hand side of the rulers. You also see those little boxes. You left click and drag, left click and drag, left click and drag. So very easy and simple. So while the third way to increase the table is to go to the layout tab, then you can see the height and the width directly in this cell size, this cell side area. You can see the height. This one increase the height of the table, while these increase the height of the width of the cell. Sorry, this increase the height and this increases the width. You can reduce it pressing the arrow below. And if you want all the cells to be increased or reduced, all you just have to do is to highlight. This little plus button is for highlighting. Whenever you hover your mouse or you click on any cell, you see this box, this small box with a plus sign in it. Just click on it and all the table will be highlighted. So you can increase the width and the height in this area. So the other thing I will be showing you is how to merge cells. Merging cells is bringing two or more cells together and making them one. That is the meaning of merge. For example, this is a heading, so I want this to cover the entire table. I want this row to become one. So all you just have to do is to highlight the cells you want to merge. There are two ways to highlight cells in Microsoft Word. First you just hover you place your cursor on the cell, starting from any cell you want to highlight. Left click on your mouse and then just follow the direction you want. Just move your mouse around the direction you want to highlight. Then the other way is to go outside the table, following these margins. Go outside the table, following this margin, just go to the direction you want to highlight and just click. Go to the direction you want to highlight and click outside the table. You can also do this for the column. Go outside until you get the black arrow. Click. So I'm merging the top row. I'm merging it. So you go to your layout in Microsoft Word 2016. You have two layouts on your screen. You have this layout here and then this layout here. So I'm using this layout here, which is the last one. And I think in 2007 you don't see it layout. I think it is format. I'm not sure, but they are all the same thing. They have the same information. Click on it, then in this merge area you see merge cells. You merge the cells, and then that's it. This 10 columns have now become one, but the same one row, then one column. You've merged them, and you can also split them. Also, go to layout, this split cells helps you split the tables. You click on it, this little box pops up. So you put in the number of columns you want to split. Initially we used 10, so I'm inserting 10 here. So press OK. So it is normal for them to misalign. So you just have to do the first movement tool I showed you. You drag and align them. drag and align them. This long line, whenever you click, helps you put the line together. So that's it. That's just all you just have to do to insert your tables. So when you do them like this, they are all aligned. They are now one columns. Then in this merge area, splitting tables. This is a single table. You can split it to become two. What you just have to do, click on that particular area, the point you want the table to split from. I'm breaking the table from this area, so I'll just go to my layout again, go to split table, and click on split table, and the table has now been broken. I have two tables now. Then how to insert more rows and more columns to your document or to your table. Let's say the tables are not enough for me. I want to add more information. Now I want to add more information. In Microsoft Word 2.16 is more easier. You can just hover your mouse at the end of the border, the end of the table. You see this plus sign that comes up. Just click plus and it creates a new table for you. The same thing with the rows. Just hover your mouse around the area, at the end of the row. Take note, at the end of the row. It doesn't work at this point, but it works here. So it works at the beginning of the table, and this works at the end of each column. At the end of each column, this works at the beginning of each column. Just click on the plus sign. It creates new row or new column for you. Then if you're working with Office 2010 or 2007, what you just have to do, go to the area you want to increase, add a cell or a column. Go to the area, click on it, then go to your layout. Then this row and column area, insert above, insert a row above, insert below, insert a row below, insert left, insert a column at the left hand side, right side, right, insert a column at the right hand side. That's how to insert. Then you can also insert more rows. To insert more rows, if you don't want to go through this stress, to insert more rows to your table, you can go to the end of the document, the end of the table, the last cell of your table. You go and click on it and press the tab key on your keyboard. It creates a new row for you. Press the tab key, it creates a new row. You can also do it another way. You can go to the last cell, then use the right arrow key. Just click on it once. The cursor goes out of the cell, and then all you just have to do is to press enter. Repeat it again. Click on the last cell. Use the right arrow key and then press enter, and it creates a new table for you. Then how to delete more rows and columns. If I don't want to use this row, the row is worthless, there is nothing, it is useless. Go to your layout, you see this delete, click on delete row or delete the row. Delete column will delete the column. If now when you press delete rows, it deletes only the number rows. Now if you highlight a row and you delete column mistakenly, it deletes the entire table. So if you highlight a row, an entire row, make sure you delete row. If you highlight an entire column, don't delete row, you delete column, because if you mistakenly delete row, the entire table goes. Then if you want to delete the entire table, you click on the small plus arrow here that highlights the entire table, go to your layout, delete, then delete table. So go back to it again. So these other delete cells just delete only cells of your document. Let's say I want to delete this cell, highlight on the cell, highlight on the cell and drag. Or you can go, if you want to highlight a single cell on your table, just hover at the top left corner until you get this black arrow facing 45 degrees diagonally. Just click on it and it highlights only that particular cell. So you delete cells. Delete cells, it gives you this option, shift cells left. It will shift the remaining cells to the left hand side like we see. If you delete it, it shifts the other cells from this point here. So the best way to use this, you use the delete cells, use shift cells up. It does not show anything. It doesn't even show that the cell was deleted. So delete cells, shift cells up. Okay, delete the entire row, we delete the entire row, delete the entire column, we delete the entire column. So that's it. So finally, what this lesson is the autofit that I said I will be showing you. If mistakenly your table is misaligned or overlaps the page and you want it to come back, you can easily drag this box here, drag it to your area. But if that will waste your time, you can just click on the entire table, go to your layout, come to this autofit. Preferably use the autofit window. Autofit window helps the table fit into the page you're working with. So that's it for this video. More of this coming up. Don't forget to subscribe and like our videos.